Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Business Class. My name is Rachel Kahugu. Now today we'll be talking about something that I love talking about, photography. A lot of people wanafanyanga photography just for fun, just to look good, but today we want to know how to make money out of photography because we said business is all about making money. Today I'm with Rodgers. He'll be telling us about how he makes money using photography. Come with me because business is more than meets the eye. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for having us today.
It's a pleasure.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Hata tunaweza baki huku. Now already we are at home. Try make ourselves comfortable with our team here. Thank you so much. Now tell me about what you do. Introduce yourself. Alafu kwanza nataka utuambie about the place. Na utuambie kama tunaweza baki huku. Yes.
So my name is Rodgers, and I'm a photographer, videographer. We also do branding and digital marketing. And this is Click Media. That's the big house that has all the other companies in them.
All right. So Click Media ndio imebeba all that photography and everything else.
Yeah.
All right. Today we'll be focusing on photography because that's my main interest.
Sure.
And a lot of people, especially nowadays, wanafanyanga photography just for fun. Some people are making some amount of money, but you know it's not that good money as such. Nowadays, kuna a lot of things that are changing, right? With photography, what are you supposed to do ndio uingie into the market vizuri such that you can make good money out of photography?
Photography is a very wide field that now, and we've seen quite a number of people coming into photography, and it's because of various reasons. There are some people who lack a better thing to do, so they decide, let me get a camera and start the clicks.
Yeah.
So that's one reason. But for you to be able to get into the market correctly, first you need to identify why. What is this reason why you're joining photography? And then do market research. That's a very common and obvious thing in business, that you need to do market research. That if for example, I'm targeting Kitengela or Nairobi or Nakuru, I need to know what is it that Nakuru doesn't have in terms of photography.
So you bring that into the market.
Yes. Like when I was starting up this studio, in Kitengela, we had the backdrop studios where you have just one plain color. Yeah. And then you go take a photo, maybe if you're in white, they do black, that. So I wanted to bring a different taste. So that someone can take what we call lifestyle photography. You can feel like you're at home. You see, we have different setups.
Like this one right here is one of the sets that you have in studio.
Sure, yes. So like now you can be seated here, and when you take that photo, someone thinks you are at your place.
At home, I've also seen you have another one inakani kama uko kwa garden, flowerish.
Yes. Trying to bring nature from outside to inside. Yes.
Okay.
So do market research and also have a target market. Because when you're starting a business, for example, if you go and start a school in Runda, you know the kind of people you're targeting.
True.
So when you're setting up that business of photography, have a target market.
A target market. Sure. All right. And for the people who are just starting photography, because nowadays you see a lot of people doing photography, especially kwa streets on weekends. Watu wako na photographers everywhere. So how are you supposed to make sure that your pricings are okay?
Have a rate card. Have a rate card and let it be uniform. Such that if I send my rate card to client A, it's the same rate card I'll send to client B.
Okay.
You know, there are people in between. A client calls you, asks you, how much do you charge for photos? 200. Another one calls 300. And maybe it is the something that they had already discussed. So you see, you lose trust and confidence with the client.
customers.
So have a rate card. Price all your things. If it's product photography, how much will I charge? If it is personal portraits, how much will I charge? So once you have a rate card, you consider all the equipment you're using, the personnel, so that you are also able to pay your bills and then have something in the pocket.
Okay, now you've mentioned equipment. For people who are just starting photography and they're looking forward to making photography their main career, what are some of the equipment zenye wanatakana kuanza nayo? Is it just a camera and you're good? Or there's something else?
You know, everything needs to be spiced up. For example, if you are cooking food, you need to spice it up. You need to add some few things here and there. Like photography, you can't have just a camera and say that's enough. You need things like strobes that will provide extra lighting. Remember, we said photography, the bigger the light, the softer the image. That's why when someone goes to the studio and they take photos, if your face has, for example, pimples and wrinkles, that is covered up because of the light. Because the bigger the light, the softer the image. And then I don't know whether you've been to a function and someone tells you, hapa kuna jua, we can't take a photo from that direction. So if you have proper lighting, you can be able to take good photos despite the time or the weather.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need equipment, you need strobes, that's one. Number two, you need to have the correct lenses. That's another, we call them glasses.
Yeah.
Because you could be having a good camera, but you don't have the lenses. For example, different lenses can do different types of photography. If you need to do portraits for people, most commonly you do prime lenses. So we have 15, 35, 50, 85. So depending on your space and also what exactly you want. Then we have zoom lenses, we have telephoto lenses. There are many wide lenses. Depending
so that depends on what exactly you want to achieve.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, we have lenses for even landscape. If you want to take photographs of mountains, features around you, there are lenses that you use. So that's another thing you consider. Then I'd suggest that if you are able to upgrade with times, upgrade.
Because things are really changing.
Very fast. Like I remember when I was starting photography, my first camera was sijui kama unajua those cyber shots.
Ile hapa juu.
Yes, that one. I saved money that I had been given for pocket money in campus.
And that was a good start.
And then I decided to buy that camera. But it paid off with time because I was able to sustain myself in school mpaka nikamaliza just through that photography.
Wow.
So with time we've gone to full frame, mirrorless, and times are moving very fast. So you need to be fast moving. And the clients we are having nowadays are very sharp. They ask you, which camera are you using?
Yeah, true.
You see, so you need also to be up to the times that we are.
To upgrade with time.
Yeah, sure.
And is it important for someone maybe who's starting and I feel the business is now growing to have a studio? Because some people have studios, some people prefer wanaenda nje with their clients. So would you advise mtu akue na studio? Ama you can just do it your way?
You know, a studio is like a location, and the moment you have a location, it builds confidence with the client. There's a time I was doing freelance photography, and I could go out to take photos. Then the next question the client asks you is, tutakupata wapi?
Yeah.
So you don't want to direct clients to maybe a place, it's not good. So there's that need to also have a studio. If you're able to do a studio, do it. And then if you're doing freelance, think about upgrading to a studio.
Yeah.
Because you save over time. You can start small, then grow over time.
Okay. And with the way times are changing and seasons, where do you think photography is heading to?
Photography is big. If you could tell your parent when you were growing up that you want to become a photographer,
Well, that would be something else.
that's suicidal.
Yeah.
But the times we are living right now, photography is a big business. It's a career. It's employing people. And the future for photography is very bright and very competitive.
Yeah.
If my son today tells me he wants to do photography, I'll say, why not?
True.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now that you have your own studio, and now you think that you feel that it's making money and it's actually growing, and the way you've told us that now photography is becoming something with the world, that it's changing every day, what would you tell a photographer who's just starting?
If you're starting photography, one thing I'd advise that photographer is have the right mindset. Then decide this is something you want to do. And then lastly, do it out of passion.
Yeah.
Don't do photography for business. Nowadays people want to make business or they want to make money before it is already a passion. If it's a passion, then it will be easier for you to make the money.
True.
So aim at doing it as a passion, then focus on the client. Focus on the client.
Whatever the client wants,
Yes.
but that's what she gets.
Yeah, we normally say the client is always
Right.
right. So akirudisha picha seme redo this one, mwambie sawa.
Yeah. As you
We'll
say,
do that.
we'll just do it.
Yes.
Okay. You've said there's a lot of things as a photographer that you can do. You've mentioned landscape, portraits. As a photographer, when you unataka sasa kugrow, ukwe a good photographer in the market, are you supposed to specialize in one area ama unaweza ufanyange tu zote?
Have one area of specialization, but still be able to do the rest. Like there's a photographer I know who has specialized on wildlife photography.
Wow.
So he only does wildlife photography. He's best at it. But this same person, a client will tell you, I saw your photo of a giraffe. Can you take me a photo like that one?
Yeah.
So what will you
Why
do?
not?
Why not? So be good at something, but also at the ability to do the other types of photography.
Okay. So as you've heard, for our photographers, it's very important that ukwe specific with what you want to do. And as you can see, photography is something that can make money. And in business, as much as you want to have fun and you're doing something that you love doing, you should be able to make a living out of it. Don't go too far. We will be having 5 minutes tip, the Business 101. Then we will be right back.
So, are you thinking about photography? Would you like to venture into photography? I would just want to highlight a few things that you need to put into consideration as you get into photography. Number one is be ready to learn. Photography is growing very fast. The competition is very stiff. Be ready to learn and be easily approachable, or reach out to people you can learn from and have friends of that nature. Number two, as a photographer, have what we call a target market. Know who you want to be your clients. if you want to focus on corporates, know how to approach the corporates. If you want to focus on just clients who are taking portraits, focus on that. Then number 3, I'd like to, as a photographer and you are thinking about doing photography, get a good camera. They're called tools of work. And when you have the right tools of work, definitely your work becomes easier. So get the right camera and the right equipment that you need to use. Then find inspiration. Find inspiration. And there's one photographer called Ronix Photography. He has been my teacher and I find inspiration from him. So as a photographer also, find inspiration, find someone that you can look up to and learn from, and always focus on doing what is best. Focus on doing what is best. Be happy when you achieve it and celebrate with your team. So when dealing with a client, first of all, make sure that your client, whether it's the first time or they have been in your studio or outdoor for photography, make them comfortable. Ice break. Photography is not easy, especially when you are dealing with the first time client. Ice break. Always find ways of making them feel comfortable and happy. It will be easier for you because you will not struggle looking for the smiles in the session. So make your client comfortable when you're taking the photos. Make them comfortable. Then if you notice a client who has trust issues, be very careful when dealing with that client. There are times you find clients say, we will not pay until we've seen the final product. So what you do as a photographer and you want to, it's a new client that you want to gain, you do the photos, edit and send. Immediately they are downloaded, you are blocked. So be very keen with clients who have trust issues, because you might end up losing money, and apart from it, it can taint the name of your company. So be very careful when dealing with those clients. Then maybe something I can add small is don't share photos of clients without their consent. You've taken the photos, yes. You are the photographer, yes. Ask clients, can I share your photos on our social media handles? Because some people like privacy, and the photos they are taking are not necessarily for social media. So ask your clients, can I share your photos on our social media handles? That will save you a lot of trouble and maybe some legal fees. My name is Rodgers, Director of Production at Click Media, and this is Business Plus.
All right, thank you so much for the Business 101. I know the photographers may learn what you're supposed to do so that you can grow in your photography business. With the trends that you're having, I know that lazima biashara yoyote ikuwe marketed. What social media platform do you think is the best to market the photography business?
First, let me talk about the use of social media. For example, Facebook and Instagram are the best tools for marketing. Look at Facebook, it's free.
Yeah.
you can publish what you do, and people get to know what you do, and then from there you get clients. Same case to Instagram.
Yeah.
So push for Facebook and Instagram. Those are good social media sites for advertising. And then they are free, that's one. But you can also do ads on the same platforms, and it's affordable. Look, it's something affordable, and then it reaches out to a number of people.
All right. Yes. And did you learn photography in school, or you just started it as a hobby, and now you're here?
It was a hobby.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't learn in school at kidogo?
Oh, I've learned photography skills online.
Oh.
Yes. Then I went to ZTech to do a course. It was a brief course of about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? I was even expecting 3 months.
3 weeks.
Okay.
My first learner too.
Yeah. So it's something that people can just learn. If you have a hobby, if you love doing it, it's something you can make money out of it.
Yes.
And what would you tell, because nowadays, as I've told you, naonanga watu wengi sana wanapenda kupiga picha. And most of the time, utapata watu wanapiga picha, but it's just so that you can have fun, people look good, and then that's it. How do you differentiate watu wenye wanapiga picha ama your photography skills as a photographer? How do you differentiate if you're just taking photos for fun and the professional photos?
You know, photography is an art, and it tells stories. And what will provide the difference is the story you are telling. You can take ordinary photos, and there's a photo you look at and you say, wow, that is the difference. The art. So you have to create stories from every photo. Don't just take a photo when someone is looking at it and it's just an ordinary photo. There's nothing interesting about it.
It's just a photograph.
Yes. So there are various ways of achieving the art out of a photo session. So before you take that shot, you need to figure it out.
It should tell a story.
Yes.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for some clients, wanatakanga kulipa in installments, some they're okay, they'll just pay all of it. How do you handle such, especially our installments?
Installments are allowed because you see, like for example, you're doing wedding photography. It's quite a huge chunk of money, and it's good that you allow the client to pay in bits. So what you do, you must have a contract. For example, we have developed a contract for such terms, so that we agree to the terms of service, and then we work as per the contract. So paying in installments is good, but also ensure that you put it down
on paper. Yes. And is it with the big events like weddings and ama hata zile zetu tunakujanga kidogo kidogo here and there?
Mostly we don't, unless it's an event or the other personal portraits, we don't encourage installments.
Installments, right? Okay.
It's not good for business.
Yeah, true. And with the way trends are moving, things are moving, especially on social media, what are some of the things that photographers wanatakana ku abandon, and some of the things zenye una feel photographers wasai wanatakana ku take up?
Let me start with things to abandon.
Yeah.
First of all is let your, I don't know how to put this, but language that is not positive, inspiring, and professional. Avoid that. Number two, avoid things that when people look at it, they tell different values of who you are. For example, there are, you know, you could be doing photos, yes, and posting them on your wall or on your website.
Yeah.
The moment corporate clients call, they'll ask, do you have a profile? Yes. Where do you share your photos? They'll go there and check.
Yeah.
So you might end up losing quite some good jobs because of the kind
language.
of things you do.
Yeah.
So avoid photos that are controversial. Avoid that. And then also present yourself as a professional.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you should be a professional in your business.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you think the photographers right now should take up?
Honesty.
Honesty.
That's the number one. As a photographer, be very honest. As bad as it is.
Yeah.
You go to a wedding and the photos were not good. Maybe the camera misbehaved.
Yeah.
Tell the client the photos didn't
Didn't
were not
photograph.
taken as we thought.
Yes. So you have to be honest.
Yeah, be honest and always learn to tell it as it is.
Yeah.
And then be a straightforward person. Like if I can give you an example, we have clients in Kisumu.
Yeah.
We have clients in Bujumbura and others in Arusha.
Now, for those when you are Kombalivo, what services do you give?
They can take photos and send them to us because we make photo books.
Yeah.
We make photo mounts. There's a lot of production after photography.
Yeah.
So a client in Kisumu can send photos and pay in advance. Then you don't send them back to Kisumu.
True.
So that it's about values and being a straightforward person. That should be taken very seriously.
Very seriously. And now you've mentioned that kuna vitu mingi zenye mnafanya after the photography, like the mounting, the photo mounts and all those.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate the pricings? Because I see the mounts, they're different sizes, right? Are they all the same price? Ama they're different prices?
They are different sizes, that's one. And they come with, of course, different prices. Like in our rate card, we have we used to do A5 up to A0. But nowadays we do from A4 to A0. And they have different prices.
A5 is the smallest one?
Yes,
Okay.
the normal excess book, that's A5. Then there's A4.
Yeah.
Then A3 all the way to A0. A0 is the biggest. Yeah, so they have different prices. And we normally have offers for the mounts.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing more than 5 pieces, we have offers for such.
Yeah.
And then we deliver countrywide.
Wow.
Actually, not even countrywide, East Africa.
East Africa, right?
Yes.
And do you have your own people who transport them? Ama no, it's you use other sources?
We use courier services, different companies. Yes.
Okay. And for someone who wants to start such a business, angetaka kujua, what are the legal stands that you're supposed to have? Maybe the such as business permits. Is there anything else, or something very specific, especially for the photographers?
Of course, when you're starting a business, you have a location like this one.
Yeah.
You need the business permit.
Yeah.
That's one. Number two, there are locations that require photography permits. Like Nairobi, there are areas that you can't just take photos. You have to have the permit. And then if you're taking aerial photography using the drone, you have to ensure that your drone is registered, and then you have the license for the drone, as well as the pilot, so that you are able to take photos in different areas. One thing I'd encourage about the requirements, the legal requirements. Before you go to a location, always find out what is it that they need. Because you can for example, a client can tell you, I want you to come and take me photos at a certain place.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to go and find out what is required at that place.
Yeah.
If they need permits, then you
Make
prepare
sure you
your
have the
paperwork properly.
permits, yeah.
Then you go and take the photos.
Okay. And for those who are just starting up to have their locations and everything, is a location really supposed to be so specific? Kama naweza to my studio anywhere as long as people know about it.
You know, we are targeting people. And if you're able to put your studio somewhere where people can easily see it, it will be better for you.
Yeah.
Other than if, for example, if I had my studio somewhere in an estate, then I have to invest so much on advertisement.
Yeah.
And maybe,
so that people can know where you actually are.
Where you are.
Yeah.
But if you have a physical location, for example, at the heart of a town, it's easier because someone will pass by and maybe you've done signage on there's a studio here.
Yeah.
They'll walk in. It will be easier. You'll have walk-in plans. Unlike when you don't have a location that is within the town.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are some of the challenges, the major challenge you've noticed with the photography business?
The biggest challenge right now is theft. People are targeting photographers.
Oh, really?
You know, equipment is very expensive.
Yeah.
You could be investing $500,000 or such. And people have found ways of trying to steal this equipment from the photographers. Like us, we've lost equipment before. Someone could tell you, let me give you a clear scenario so that people get to understand how it works.
Yeah.
Someone calls you and tells you, I have an event in Kahugu.
Okay.
This happened to me, so it's a true story.
A real story.
Yes. So I went all the way to Kahugu with all my equipment. I had my drone, I was there. So we had to cover a show. Then this gentleman tells me that he's sending someone to come and pick me to the location.
Okay.
Nikamwambia there's no need, just pin the location, I'll come because I have my car. That is the time he stopped talking to me. Later on, after like 2 weeks, a friend in Machakos was called to the same Kahugu
For a show again?
for a show again.
Oh, really?
So they booked an hotel for him.
Uh-huh.
He left his equipment in the hotel. Then they told him, let's go have some supper. Then the guys disappeared. When he came back to the hotel room, he did not find his equipment.
Where?
So theft is the biggest challenge right now. Be very cautious. Like, for example, if it's a new client, be very cautious.
Yeah.
But mostly, if it's a referral, go back and check. If someone tells you, I have been referred by so and so, ask them, okay, have you referred so and so?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for having us. And I know that now photographers are learning that you can actually make some good money through photography. Now, when you're nafikiria that you've not actually gone to school for you to learn photography, it's actually a thing. As long as you love doing what you're doing, you can grow. And you've also mentioned that ulianza na kale kadogo. So you start from somewhere.
Sure.
And when you're anaanza, most of them are even starting from a better place. So wherever you are, just start from there. It is a good place to start. This is where we make money because business is more than meets the eye. My name is Rachel Kahugu. Till next time, this is the Business Class. you.